I'm Tori Beach, a solo wedding videographer, and we're back again with another episode of I Do's and Don'ts, where I sit down with wedding professionals to talk about the do's and don'ts of all things weddings. And real quick, I just wanted to know, if you guys are listening to this, did you know that we have a YouTube channel where you can actually go and watch these interviews? And also, if you guys are watching this, did you know we had a podcast where you can just listen to these episodes? I want you guys to take advantage of both options, as it's also really fun to see the interaction between me and the guests. But also, if you don't have time to sit and watch a video and you're doing stuff, it's great to be able to pop it in and listen to it on a podcast. So I just want to make a note, make sure you guys know that there are two options to be able to view this or listen to it. Anyway, I'm so excited for our guest today. She is actually a past bride of mine and now a really good friend, Erica Peters. Hey Erica, thank you so much for being here.
Hello, thanks for having me.
I'm so happy to see you. I feel like
I'm happy to be here.
It's been too long. We actually, I introduced you as a past bride of mine, and you got married, oh, please correct me, was it 2019?
18.
Oh, it's been longer.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. It doesn't feel like that long.
Ago.
Yeah. Okay, so 2018, and my favorite memory with you was like our first consultation. And did I ask you what you did? I don't remember, but goats came up. So tell me what your job is.
Yes. So I'm the herd manager at Prairie Fruits Farm. So we're milking a little over 100 goats right now. So I manage the herd and all the kids that were born this spring. So it keeps me very busy. But Tori and I bonded over goats for a good hour.
Yeah, I know. It was like, oh, we're getting married? Okay. Hey, let's talk about goats.
Yes.
Yep, because I used to raise them back in the day. And then actually over the pandemic, at the very beginning, things were really slow for me. So you were my boss for a little while. I came and worked.
I recruited you.
Yeah, I came and milked goats for several months. So that was back in 2020. Yes. So that was fun.
It was the best. It was the best.
But I love that we kind of grew this connection, and we had one obviously over the goats. But being able to shoot your wedding, I just put up recently a throwback to your wedding. And it's just so sweet to me because, like, the more that we become friends, the sweeter that video is to me. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Erica and Leon. I love them.
Such a fun day. Such a fun day.
It was so good. Your day was so good. And, we talked over your do and your don't for this. And the do that you have, you went in all in on this. Like, you really took to heart what you're going to tell people to do. So since I set it up, let's talk about it. So your do is to make the wedding your own. Tell me why this is important and kind of how you did that for your own wedding.
Sure. So, really, this is your day. So anything you can make it your own is just going to make the day even better.
Yes.
So get food that you love to eat. If you want pizza, get pizza.
Yes. Oh, please do that.
People, we did line dancing lessons during our cocktail hour because that's something that my husband and I love to do.
Yes.
And then it's just fun to get to the details. Once you get all the big stuff booked, you can get down to the decor and all of the details and just kind of make that your own and bring in a little from you and your significant other. And it just kind of makes the day just so much fun to see all that.
Well, and it really does for a guest. Like, you're not just going to another wedding. I mean, when they walked into your wedding, it was so clear that it was about you and Leon. You had some really cute decor of because who was in FFA and who was in 4-H?
We both were. So we cheated a little. We've been together for quite some time. So we have a lot in common. We were in 4-H and FFA together. So we hung our FFA jackets.
Yep.
And a lot of the stuff I handmade. I did a big craft day with my family and friends. So we just did like definitely make a Pinterest board and craft it up. That was just a lot of fun memories with family, making those things. And then you're able to, you know, be creative about your decor and make it your own too, versus buying something.
Right. And I just loved it because you guys had a ton of pictures, which I thought was so cute. Yeah. And you had them hanging up in different areas, and they had a theme or, you know, whatever. But then you also had some really personal touches. Like, I think, if I remember correctly, there was a blue, was it a milk jug?
Yeah, milk can.
A milk can.
Yeah, my dad actually got that for Christmas for us, the Christmas before we got married.
Okay.
I believe. So
well, let's explain why that's so sentimental there, because you work with goats and you milk goats, but let's see what does Leon do?
Yes, so we both love dairy. I love the goats, but my husband loves the cows. Yeah. So we found a way to bring them together.
It was so cute.
I think I want to say on the top of our cake we said like utterly in love, and we had just cows and goats everywhere, like all over the barn.
It was so cute. And then like even at the head table, you guys had windows behind you, and your side had a goat, like wooden cutout, and his had a cow, and it was just so cute. I loved it. I love the non-traditional, very you touches like all throughout. It was so cute.
We actually we had the cow cut out. It was one my grandma had given to me. But the goat was made by my brother. He made one so that we could have one in each window.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know he made it.
So it's fun to get family involved in some of those things.
Yeah.
Those little touches.
Well, and again, you know, no one is going to go to another wedding that looks like that. And I think that's so fun. I love it. And like you immediately walk in and you're like, yep, Erica and Leon's wedding. This is where I'm at.
and that's really, that makes it fun for your guests too.
It does.
You know, they look around, they see all your little details. It gives them something to do.
Oh yeah. You know? Oh yeah. And I love your idea of the lion dancing during the cocktail hour. What a great activity. And that's something that's also special to the two of you. We glossed over the most important detail of the entire day. And I think this is where our love for goats just like solidified. You had a goat was kind of a flower girl.
Yeah.
An extra bridesmaid. What was she?
It was a flower goat.
A flower goat. Yeah.
A dear friend of mine, Elena, was the goat attendant, and she's the one that carried the rings. So they were kind of like the ring bearers.
So
it was a team effort.
This goat, her name is Poppy, and she's a Nubian. So if any of you know your goats, that's what she was. And Nubians tend to be a little snots. Like they just get into stuff. And she was so good. And you had like a silk flower crown on her head, and she wore it no problem. In fact, I think she strutted a little bit with that thing on as she came down the aisle. Seriously, I'm glad there was a good long pause after she came down the aisle before you came down the aisle, because
it was her day.
It was
her moment. Yeah.
She stole the show. People were just like blown away.
And I was okay with that.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Yeah, Poppy, and then she stayed around for a little while. So like the guests got to like pet her and interact, and like we took pictures with her. She's in a lot of my video footage because I just couldn't help myself. Like, oh my gosh,
so cute.
Oh,
so cute.
Talk about making that your own. I mean, right there. Who else has had a goat go down the aisle? I don't know, but I'm here for it.
I think that was the most certain I was about a wedding decision, is I had to have a goat in my wedding.
No.
But I offered to my husband if he wanted a cow, that I could make that happen too. Yeah. But we stuck with just
Yeah, I was going to say, Leon probably was like, look, this isn't a zoo, this is a wedding. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we forgot about Poppy. Oh, literally the most beautiful goat ever. She was just so cute.
The bad thing is it made her
detail.
such a bad goat. She's so entitled now. She gets into trouble all the time.
All the time. She's like, hey, well, have any of you been in a wedding? I didn't think so. Okay, so for those of you who don't love goats, you don't understand any of this. But for us, and those of you who are watching and listening who love goats, you will understand. This is a good day. There was a goat in a wedding. That leads us into your don't. And your don't is don't feel like you have to do everything alone or everything with just your partner. So talk to me about why that's important and kind of how you handled all of that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, planning a wedding is a lot of work. I mean, some people plan it like 1 to 2 years before the big day. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. And, you know, it's nice to do some of it together, like the big decisions.
Yeah.
But when you get to like the details or like the decorations and stuff like that, like bring in your mom or your sister or a friend. Like, don't feel like you have to do everything with your significant other.
Right.
I mean, you may want to, but that's just kind of how I did it. My husband just kind of let me be creative in some of the things, and I think it was a lot of fun.
That's pretty common.
Stressful, but
yeah. I know. I think that's something that everybody just needs to just have like a warning. You got engaged. Okay, be ready. It's going to be a little stressful. No matter how much planning you do, there's still a lot. But I love the idea of having community around. Because we've actually talked to another bride of mine who did a lot of DIY, but she took it on by herself. And for her, she just felt like it wasn't worth the time. And I think that is totally, if that's not your avenue and you just like, I don't have a DIY bone in my body, then don't try it. Like, just don't do it. But also, that could be very isolating, where you're like, oh, I can't go out because I got to make 700, whatevers.
Exactly.
And that bringing in a community and making it a fun thing and like having a good time, that just makes it so much more, I think, would be more enjoyable to do all of the decor and DIY.
Even if you're not crafty, recruit your crafty friends.
Yes.
Have a wine night or something.
Yes.
Make it fun.
Wine, pizza, pasta, just like do the thing, have fun. Exactly. I love that. And I think also if those people are obviously going to be in your wedding or be at your wedding, I mean, how fun is it that they can even say that they had a part in creating it?
Make like part of it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Erica, these are so good. They are good reminders for people who are in the thick of it right now. If you are a couple who is planning at this very moment, you feel like you're all alone, have a pizza party and have people come over and help you out. And do some DIY, make it your own, add some photos of yourselves. Like, just, I think that that's really what makes it very special when you come into a wedding and you can see the couple in the decor throughout the day. So I love that.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll never, our DJ told us this right before we went into the reception, is this will be the only time in your life that everybody you ever loved and known is under one roof. And that was just like,
whoa.
Oh. So you have to just go into the day, like, and if something goes wrong, just shake it off and enjoy every minute.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of planning that goes into that day.
Yes, and that's a huge thing too. Is just let it go. You've hired the vendors, you've got the team. I mean, I know my job is videography, but I'm also checking a lot of other stuff, making sure other things are running smoothly. I'll go, do something that's technically not my job in order to make things run smoothly. And I think that, with weddings, something usually doesn't quite go as planned. But like you said, just let it go and enjoy the people, enjoy the fact that you got married. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just take it in.
Yes. Yes. Well, Erica, thank you so much for joining me and sharing this.
Me.
I love it so much.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Please feel free to leave all comments and suggestions in the comment section below. We love to hear feedback from you guys, and we would love to create an episode that's curated off of your guys' comments or your suggestions for topics, or even professionals that you guys want to hear from. So please feel free to leave all of that in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we hope to see you again next time.